Have you ever wondered why you felt led to click on this message tonight? Maybe you were scrolling through countless videos, looking for something to distract your mind, or perhaps you weren't searching for anything at all, yet somehow, out of everything you could have watched, you stopped here. That is not an accident. God says, "My child, I brought you here because I have something your heart desperately needs to hear." Before you move on, before another thought steals your attention, give God just 5 minutes. These moments could become the turning point you've been praying for without even realizing it. Heaven is not silent tonight. God is speaking directly to your heart, and He wants you to know that His love has never left your side. God says, "I have seen every tear you tried to hide. I have heard every prayer you whispered when no one else was listening. I know the pain in your body, the exhaustion in your mind, and the heaviness in your soul. Even when you felt forgotten, I was standing beside you, holding you together in ways you could not see." Sometimes life becomes so overwhelming that we begin to believe our struggles are invisible. But God reminds you tonight that nothing about your life has escaped His attention. Every sleepless night, every moment of fear, every silent cry has reached His heart. Perhaps you have been carrying burdens that no one around you truly understands. You smile in front of people, but inside you feel tired. You tell everyone you're fine, yet your body feels weak and your spirit feels drained. God says, "You no longer have to carry everything by yourself. Come to me. Let me carry what has become too heavy for you." This invitation is not based on how perfect you are. It is not because you have done everything right. It is simply because you are deeply loved by your Heavenly Father. Many people spend their lives searching for peace in temporary places. They look for comfort in success, money, relationships, or endless distractions, yet their hearts remain restless. But tonight, God is offering something the world can never provide. He says, "Be still before me. Stop running for just a moment. Quiet your fears and let my presence surround you." Sometimes healing begins not with a dramatic miracle, but with a quiet moment when you finally allow God to speak louder than your worries. You may not understand why certain things have happened in your life. You may have asked, "God, why am I going through this? Why hasn't my situation changed?" Those questions are real, and God is not offended by them. Instead, He gently reminds you that His timing is always filled with purpose. Even when you cannot see what He is doing, He is already working behind the scenes. Every delay, every closed door, and every difficult season can become part of a greater testimony that will one day encourage someone else. Tonight, God is asking for something simple but powerful. He is asking for your attention, not because He needs it, but because you need His presence. When you pause and truly listen, your heart begins to change. Fear starts losing its grip. Anxiety begins to loosen its hold. Hope quietly rises again, even if only a little at first. That small spark of hope is often where God begins His greatest work. So don't rush through this moment. Don't let doubt convince you that this message is meant for someone else. God says, "This is for you. I know your name. I know your story. I know the battles you have not told anyone about, and I have not abandoned you. Stay with me, because what I am about to do in your life will remind you that my promises never fail." And as you continue listening with an open heart, you may begin to recognize that the healing God wants to bring doesn't start only with your body. It begins the moment you choose to trust His voice above every fear, every diagnosis, every disappointment, and every impossible situation that has been standing in front of you.
God says, "My beloved child, I see the pain you have been carrying, even when no one else notices it. There are wounds that cannot be seen with human eyes. Some are hidden behind a smile. Some are buried beneath years of disappointment, and others remain locked deep inside your heart because you have been afraid to tell anyone what you are truly feeling. But nothing about your life is hidden from me. I know every burden that weighs upon your shoulders, every anxious thought that keeps you awake at night, and every silent prayer that you have whispered through tears. Even when you felt completely alone, I was right there beside you, listening to every word and collecting every tear. There have been moments when you wondered if anyone truly understood what you were going through. You may have felt surrounded by people, yet still experienced loneliness deep within your soul. You tried to stay strong for your family. You encouraged others while silently carrying your own pain. You kept moving forward because you believed you had no other choice, yet inside you were growing tired. God says, I never asked you to carry those burdens alone. I have always been waiting for you to place them into my hands. Perhaps your body has been hurting for longer than anyone realizes. Maybe you have been dealing with weakness, sickness, constant exhaustion, or pain that has stolen your joy. You have prayed many times, hoping things would change immediately, but the answers seemed delayed. During those moments, doubt may have whispered that your prayers were not being heard. But God says, do not mistake my silence for my absence. Even when you could not see my hand, I was already working in ways beyond your understanding. My timing is never late, and my plans are never without purpose. Some of your greatest battles have not been physical at all. They have taken place inside your mind. Fear has tried to convince you that your future will never improve. Anxiety has filled your thoughts with endless worries. Discouragement has whispered that you are not strong enough to keep going. At times you questioned your own faith because the struggle felt so overwhelming. But God says, the battle inside your mind does not define your destiny. My truth is greater than every lie that fear has spoken over your life. I know there were days when you smiled simply because you did not want others to worry about you. I know about the prayers you never finished because tears interrupted your words. I know about the nights when sleep refused to come because your mind was filled with questions you could not answer. You wondered if things would ever get better. You wondered if healing was really possible. God says, I have not forgotten those moments. Every cry reached my heart, and every prayer has been safely held in my hands. Sometimes people expect healing to happen in an instant, but I often begin healing long before you recognize it. I strengthen your spirit before I change your circumstances. I restore your hope before I remove the burden. I teach you to trust me while I prepare the miracle you have been praying for. Every step of your journey has meaning, even when it feels slow. Nothing you have endured has been wasted. God says, stop believing that your pain has the final word. The sickness does not define who you are. The disappointment does not determine your future. The mistakes of your past do not cancel my plans for your life. I am greater than every obstacle standing before you, and I am able to bring beauty out of situations that seem completely broken. What feels impossible to you has never been impossible for me. As you continue listening tonight, allow your heart to become still. Let go of the pressure to have every answer. You do not have to understand every detail of my plan in order to trust me. Simply know this: I see you, I know you, I love you. I have never looked away from your suffering, and I have never stopped working on your behalf. Even now, while you are hearing these words, my presence is surrounding you, bringing comfort where there has been fear, strength where there has been weakness, and hope where discouragement has tried to take root. And as your heart begins to rest in my promises, you will soon discover that the healing I have prepared for you reaches far deeper than the pain you have been carrying for so long.
God says, "My beloved child, tonight I want you to believe that nothing is impossible for me. I am the creator of your body, the one who formed every part of you with perfect wisdom and endless love. I know every cell, every heartbeat, every breath you take, and every place where pain has tried to settle. There is no sickness too great for my power, no weakness beyond my reach, and no condition that causes me to turn away. Tonight, I am inviting you to trust me with your healing." Perhaps you have been living with pain for weeks, months, or even years. Maybe you have visited doctors, taken medications, and prayed countless prayers, yet you still wonder when relief will come. At times you may have asked yourself if healing is really possible. You may have watched others receive breakthroughs while your own struggle continued. But God says, do not compare your journey with anyone else's. I have a unique plan for your life, and I have not forgotten the prayers you have placed before me. Every moment you have waited has been seen by heaven, and every tear has been precious in my sight. I know there are days when your body feels exhausted before the day has even begun. I know there are moments when simple tasks seem difficult because of the pain you carry. I know the frustration of waking up, hoping things will be different, only to find yourself facing the same struggle once again. But my child, do not allow your current condition to convince you that your future has already been decided. Your circumstances speak loudly, but my promises speak with greater authority. Tonight, I ask you to release your fear into my hands. Fear has a way of making every problem appear larger than it truly is. It fills your mind with questions and worst-case scenarios. It tells you that nothing will ever change. But my voice speaks something different. I say that I am the God who restores, renews, and strengthens. I am the one who brings hope where despair has lived. I am able to do what human strength cannot accomplish. When you place your trust in me, you are placing your life into the hands of the one who has unlimited power and endless compassion. Healing does not always begin where people can see it. Sometimes it begins deep within your heart. Before I restore your body, I often restore your faith. Before I remove the burden, I remove the fear that has been attached to it. Before the miracle becomes visible, I begin changing your spirit so that you can walk in confidence instead of anxiety. My work is often quiet before it becomes obvious, but that does not mean I am inactive. Even now, I am moving in ways that you cannot yet understand. Do not let disappointment steal your expectation. The enemy wants you to believe that because healing has not happened yet, it never will. But I tell you the truth. My timing is perfect, and my plans for you are filled with hope. What seems delayed is never forgotten. What feels impossible has never been beyond my reach. Continue to believe, continue to pray, and continue to stand on my promises, because faith opens the door for you to experience my peace even before the answer arrives. Tonight, I also want to heal the exhaustion that has settled over your soul. Physical weakness often brings emotional weariness. You have become tired of waiting, tired of explaining your pain, and tired of wondering when things will finally change. But my child, I am strengthening you even now.
I am placing new courage within your heart. I am reminding you that you are not fighting this battle alone. My presence is with you in every doctor's appointment, every sleepless night, every painful moment, and every prayer you whisper in faith. So breathe deeply and rest in my promises. Stop carrying the weight of tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. Let my peace fill your heart instead of fear. Let hope replace discouragement. Believe that I am still the God of miracles, the God who makes a way where there seems to be no way, and the God whose love never fails. As you continue listening with an open heart, prepare yourself to receive not only strength for today, but also the confidence to trust that I am already working on the healing you have been longing for. Because what I desire to do next in your life will reveal even more clearly the depth of my love and the greatness of my power.
God says, "My beloved child, you have been carrying burdens that were never meant to rest upon your shoulders. You have tried to solve every problem on your own, thinking that if you worried enough, planned enough, or worked hard enough, everything would eventually fall into place. But I never created you to live under the weight of constant fear and anxiety. I created you to walk in my peace, trusting that I am always working for your good, even when you cannot yet see the outcome. For so long, your mind has been filled with endless questions. You wonder what tomorrow will bring. You worry about your health, your family, your finances, your future, and the problems that seem too big for you to handle. Every day brings another reason to feel overwhelmed. Every night brings another reason to lose sleep. Yet tonight, I am gently asking you to stop carrying what belongs to me. Place every worry, every fear, and every unanswered question into my hands, because I am able to carry what you never could. I know there have been moments when you felt like everything was falling apart. Doors seemed to close without explanation. Plans changed unexpectedly. People you trusted disappointed you. Circumstances beyond your control left you feeling helpless. In those moments, it was easy to believe that I had forgotten about you. But my child, I was never absent. Even when life seemed uncertain, my hand remained firmly upon your life. I have been protecting you from dangers you never noticed and guiding you through paths you did not understand. You often carry burdens long after you have prayed about them. You ask me for help, but then you continue to hold tightly to the same fear, replaying every possible outcome in your mind. God says, if you truly believe that I am your Father, then trust that I know how to care for my children. Faith is not pretending that problems do not exist. Faith is believing that my power is greater than every problem you face. Faith allows your heart to remain at peace even when your circumstances have not yet changed. Think about all the times I have already brought you through situations you believed would destroy you. There were seasons when you thought you would never recover, yet here you are today. There were moments when you believed there was no way forward, yet I opened doors you never expected. The same God who carried you through yesterday is the same God who is holding you today. My faithfulness has never changed, and it never will. Do not let your thoughts become prisoners of fear. Every anxious thought that enters your mind does not deserve your attention. Instead, fill your heart with my promises. Remember that I have already gone before you. I know every detail of your tomorrow. Nothing will surprise me. Nothing will catch me unprepared. While you are worrying about what might happen, I am already preparing the answer you need. You may not know what tomorrow holds, but you know the one who holds tomorrow. Tonight, I invite you to breathe deeply and simply rest in my presence. Stop trying to carry responsibilities that only I can bear. You are not responsible for controlling every outcome. Your responsibility is to trust me, obey my voice, and continue walking forward one step at a time. As you surrender your worries, you will discover that peace begins to replace panic. Hope begins to replace despair. Confidence begins to replace uncertainty. This is not because your circumstances have suddenly changed, but because your heart has chosen to rest in my promises instead of your fears. God says, I want to give you a peace that the world cannot offer. It is a peace that remains steady during storms. It is a peace that calms your heart when everything around you feels uncertain. It is a peace that reminds you that you are never walking through life alone. My child, I have not brought you this far to leave you now. Every step of your journey has been watched over by my loving eyes. Every prayer you have prayed has been heard to me. Every tear you have cried has been precious to me. Continue to place your trust in my hands, because as you release the burdens that have weighed you down for so long, you are making room for the strength, comfort, and healing that I have been preparing to pour into your life. God says, my beloved child, before you close your eyes tonight, I want you to receive the peace that only I can give. You have carried enough stress for one day. You have fought enough battles in your mind. You have worried about things that have drained your strength and stolen your joy. Now I am inviting you to lay every burden at my feet and allow my presence to surround you. Tonight is not a night for fear. Tonight is a night for rest, hope, and quiet confidence in my love. I know that when the world becomes quiet, your thoughts often become louder. As the day comes to an end and you lie awake in bed, your mind begins to replay conversations, mistakes, disappointments, and unanswered questions. You wonder if tomorrow will be any different. You think about your responsibilities, your health, your family, and the challenges waiting ahead. Sometimes these thoughts become so heavy that sleep feels impossible. But God says, do not allow fear to speak louder than my promises. My voice brings peace, and my peace has the power to calm every anxious heart. My child, you were never created to live in constant worry. I did not design your heart to carry endless anxiety, or your mind to be filled with fear. I created you to walk closely with me, trusting that I will provide everything you truly need. Even when life feels uncertain, my love remains certain. Even when people fail you, I remain faithful. Even when your strength runs out, my strength is more than enough to carry you through every challenge. Tonight, I ask you to release every painful memory that continues to weigh down your heart. Stop replaying the mistakes of the past. Stop blaming yourself for things that I have already forgiven. My grace is greater than your regrets, and my mercy is new every morning. Do not allow yesterday's failures to steal tomorrow's blessings. I have already made a way forward for you, but you must be willing to let go of what has been holding you back. If someone has hurt you, place that pain into my hands. I know forgiveness is not always easy, especially when the wounds run deep. But unforgiveness keeps your heart trapped in yesterday's pain. I want to set you free from bitterness, anger, and resentment. Forgiveness does not mean pretending that the hurt never happened. It means trusting me to bring justice while you continue walking in freedom. When you release the weight of unforgiveness, you create room for my healing to flow into every broken place. As you prepare to sleep tonight, remember that I never sleep. While your body rests, I continue working on your behalf. I watch over your home.
I protect your family. I prepare opportunities that you cannot yet see. I arrange circumstances according to my perfect plan. You may be resting, but I am always working. There is no moment when my attention leaves you, and there is no second when my love grows weaker. Do not be afraid of what tomorrow might bring. Tomorrow already belongs to me. Before the sun rises, I will already be there. Before you face your next challenge, I will already have gone before you. Nothing you encounter will surprise me, because I know every detail of your journey from beginning to end. My plans are filled with hope, and my purpose for your life has not changed. Tonight, instead of filling your mind with fear, fill it with my promises. Instead of expecting the worst, begin expecting my goodness. Speak words of faith over your life. Believe that I am making all things work together for your good, even when you cannot yet understand how. Let your final thoughts before sleep be thoughts of hope instead of fear, confidence instead of doubt, and gratitude instead of anxiety. God says, close your eyes tonight knowing that you are deeply loved, completely seen, and never alone. My angels are watching over you. My presence is surrounding you. My peace is covering your heart like a gentle blanket, bringing comfort where there has been pain and calm where there has been unrest. Rest in my promises, because while you sleep, I will continue preparing the breakthrough, the healing, and the new beginning that I have planned for your life. And as the morning approaches, I will reveal even more of my faithfulness in ways that will strengthen your faith beyond anything you have imagined.
God says, "My beloved child, tonight is not the end of your story. Tonight is the beginning of something new. The pain you have carried, the tears you have cried, and the battles you have fought have not been meaningless. I have been with you through every moment, even when you could not feel my presence. Now I want you to lift your eyes with hope, because I am leading you into a new season filled with my peace, my strength, and my healing. Do not allow your past to convince you that your future will look the same. Just because you have experienced disappointment before does not mean disappointment will define the rest of your life. I am the God who opens doors that no one can shut. I restore what has been broken. I renew what has become weak. I breathe life into situations that seem hopeless. What appears impossible to people has never been impossible for me. Perhaps you have been waiting for a breakthrough for a long time. Maybe you have prayed the same prayer again and again, wondering if heaven was listening. God says, "My beloved child, I heard your first prayer, and I have heard every prayer since then. My answers are never forgotten. Sometimes I ask you to wait because I am preparing something greater than you expected. Trust my timing, because my timing is always perfect." Do not measure my faithfulness by what you can see today. Many of the greatest miracles begin long before they become visible. Just as a seed grows beneath the ground before anyone sees the first sign of life, I have been working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet imagine. Every delay has had a purpose. Every closed door has protected you from something you could not see. Every difficult season has been shaping your character and preparing you for the blessings ahead. Tonight, I want you to make a decision. Leave fear behind. Leave doubt behind. Leave guilt behind. Every burden that has stolen your peace at my feet. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that I am holding your hand. You do not have to know every step of the journey, because the one who leads you has never lost his way. When you wake up tomorrow, wake up with a different perspective. Instead of expecting another day filled with struggle, expect to see my goodness. Instead of speaking words of fear, speak words of faith. Instead of focusing on what is wrong, begin thanking me for what I am already doing, even if you cannot see the full picture. Gratitude opens your heart to recognize my blessings, and faith allows you to walk with confidence before the miracle becomes visible. Remember this truth: you are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are not fighting alone. I have called you by name. I know your story. I know your dreams, your fears, your weaknesses, and your strengths. Nothing about your life surprises me. I have already written a future filled with hope for you, and nothing can stop my purpose when you continue trusting me. If your body has been weak, believe that I can strengthen it. If your heart has been broken, believe that I can restore it. If your mind has been filled with anxiety, believe that my peace is greater than every fearful thought. If your life feels uncertain, remember that I remain the same yesterday, today, and forever. My promises never fail, and my love for you never changes. So tonight, before you leave this message, take a quiet moment and speak to me. You do not need perfect words. Simply open your heart. Tell me what has been hurting you. Tell me what you have been afraid to say. I already know, but I delight in hearing my children come to me with faith. As you place everything into my hands, trust that I am already moving in your life. God says, "My child, I am healing more than your body. I am restoring your hope, renewing your strength, and reminding you that your best days are not behind you, but ahead of you." Keep believing, keep praying, keep walking with me. I will never leave you, and I will never forsake you. My love will guide you through every storm. My peace will guard your heart, and my healing power will continue to work in your life. Go forward with courage, because a new beginning starts tonight, and I am with you every step of the way. If this message touched your heart, take a moment to whisper, "Amen, Lord. I receive your peace, your healing, and your perfect will for my life." Trust Him tonight, rest in His promises, and remember that no matter what tomorrow brings, you never walk alone, because God is already walking beside you, leading you into a future filled with hope, healing, joy, and everlasting peace.